Hello and welcome to Digipay.Guru podcast. This is Tapan. Today we are going to discuss the future of the fintech industry and the latest trends. We have a distinguished guest today who is highly experienced professional with over 17 years of experience in fintech industry with expertise on payments, neobanking, prepaid programs and insurances. Throughout his career, he has been very instrumental in developing innovative fintech solutions and his key contributions with organizations like World Bank, like American Express, Amul, Mobile Telecommunications of Iran, National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development in India, and Bank of India. I would like to introduce Mr. Shashi Parvat, the founder and director of Mumbai-based fintech startup Z Rupee. As most of our viewers are looking to establish and initiate the journey into fintech space, can you please highlight the latest trends running around into the fintech industry?
Yeah. Thanks, Tapan. Thanks for having me here. Really happy to share my experience today. Right. If I talk about the latest trend, latest trends can be, in my opinion, it's like can be divided into two different segments. Like one is an evolved market, second is an emerging market. And why I say so, because fintech, what we see in India, is a evolved version, right? So when I talk about evolved version, it's more than what fintech used to have 10 years back, right, decades back. So uh, if I talk about the emerging market like India, China, the most common trend is the neobank, right? So open APIs which have come up, and through the open API sandboxes, there are opportunities for fintechs to integrate with any bank and offer banking solutions to with a greater experience and UI to the users, right? Second, with this, because of innovations has happened in this emerging market, use of AI and ML has come up, right? Uh, the third part I see is the trends which are coming up in terms of a lot of other businesses are getting integrated, and getting it's going upward, showing a trend towards digitization. Insurtech is one such business. Crypto is other business, which somewhere somehow you can relate with the fintech business, wealth tech, and also the reg tech part. So these are the evolved businesses, trends. When I come to an emerging market like Southeast Asia, uh, African region, the trends are more towards financial inclusion, because the penetration, the financial account opening, or in financial inclusion penetration is still low. So there are financial inclusion initiatives where agent banking is playing a role. uh, Somewhere, mobile wallets are coming up in a big way, because and new banking is is way forward for those markets. But what in emerging markets like India was 10 years back is something that you see in that segment. Yeah, use of technologies in bridging the gap to reach the last mile, right? So these are the current trends as per me. Thank you.
Right. So we have understood that a lot of neo bankings are using their cards,
Mhm.
personalized cards, right? So how do you see the journey of a personalized cards? And I know for our viewers, mostly many of them will be familiar with their standard banking and debit cards and credit cards, right? However, we have observed that most of the neo bankings are offering their personalized cards, right? So what are these cards? How they are differ from our debits and credit cards?
Yeah, so because of this recent trends, suddenly, and as I said, neo banking coming into the space, cards are becoming popular. Moreover, because of the financial inclusion initiatives across the globe, not only emerging market, but not only the evolved market, but also in emerging market, every government, yeah, they have set up their digital strategy, right? wherein they say that everybody has to be financially included. So the account opening process is getting simplified, which was very difficult earlier, KYCs and all this stuff. And also opening a bank account was sometimes very expensive in some countries. Now they are relaxing those norms, which means that more accounts are being opened, which also means that more cards are being issued in the market, which can be a digital card or a prepaid card, a credit card for evolving market. So we will talk about those aspects. But debit card, credit card, prepaid card are three major instruments in the card business, because the account opening is happening. And as this account opening is happening and the cards are being issued, there is also a requirement of an acceptance points. So the acceptance points are also increasing, right? So you might see, acceptance point in various forms. It can be through the EDC devices, mobile POS, or QR code, or NFC, whatever you can think of. Those are modes and infrastructure basis, and that is being developed by the respective government based on what they want to drive it, right? So some region would have a NFC cards because the government is promoting NFC. Some countries will have a, pure POS model in place, right? So that is an acquiring side on the acceptance side. So coming to the cards, right? Technically, cards are of three types: a credit card or a debit card, and a prepaid card, which is being issued by the financial institutions. Credit cards are most oldest form, right? It has like 100 years, more than 100 years, right? It's a credit thing, right? Debit card is like you have a bank account, you have a saving account or a current account, and the card is being issued so that you can use it.
You can only use the debit card against
the money which is
account,
right,
your saving
right,
accounts or like
right.
accounts that you're using.
Third one, yeah, correct. The third one is the debit product, a prepaid product, which is a debit product, but it is not a bank account, right? It is being issued by the bank, but it's not a bank. It
So
is no
not
interest.
linked to my bank account.
It's not a. It's a account which is a digital account, a prepaid account. You have all the features of a saving account, but you don't get any interest on that, right?
Right.
And it is like with minimum KYC you can open it, right?
And I do not need to expose my entire
Yeah.
balance to the open system. I can just
Use
add the fund
and you can use it, right? It's just safeguarding your interest, like cash, making the cash to digital form and use it wherever.
Right.
So technically, and all what you recently we have seen, all neobanks and emergence of neobanks and open APIs. If you talk about banking, it's running around this prepaid model, right? Buy now, pay later model is one of the use case of prepaid cards, right? There are and widely used in prepaid business. Like there are three types of cards that generally being offered. One is a closed loop wallet, where you're using the card within the same merchant group, right?
Okay.
Right. Some country may have some regulations to regulate it, but some would not. But it is mostly used in a. It's kind of a store value card you can use in a retail outlet, like retail store outlet, right? And then there's a semi-closed kind of a card, which is being issued by the by the PSPs who are licensed, right? And the third is the open loop card, right? Which is issued by the bank or the registered entity. Those cards are like can be used across any POS terminals, any merchant. If it's a Visa, Master, Amex, whatever type, it can be used across the. And there are different use cases as per the card being launched. The idea for prepaid is always a good instrument, a good product for a bank, because first they get the float, right? And for the float which they get, they don't have to pay interest to their customer. And second, and also like, and they're leftover business, right? So it's like if you load your card, you will not use 100%, right? So it's always 10-20% is already left over. So that money is still lying with the bank, and this is a good model around. And there have been a lot of use cases around. We can talk about as.
So coming to the use cases, I'm sure many of the viewers would like to understand, what are the as a consumer now we understand how the prepaid card works. But for the business entities, like for somebody who is already into fintech domain and running a lot of other fintech services, now if they wanted to tackle out the prepaid services to their own portfolio, right? What will be the use cases? What will be the target area for them? Like, can you share your experience or any successful journey that you would like to share to our audience?
See, there has been various use cases from a fintech perspective. When where there is a limited accounts, right? Financial inclusion is one of the biggest use cases. Banks are not very dominant or not very participating in the economy. In that market, yes, it plays a very big role because opening a bank account is a process involved in this. There are costs involved. In that market, if you come up with something which helps in terms of opening a digital account, it is a win-win situation for everybody. Right? Let's say example, maybe a remittance, government benefit getting transferred to the last mile. So there is a lot of government benefits around. When the government wants to give subsidies or you want to give something to the citizens through a prepaid instrument, it can be done, right? It was like while it is regulated in India, and India has evolved in a stage where accounts are now its actual account where the subsidies are going, but there has been use case where I remember in 2013 we had this Amul association. They had a problem with farmers putting up, the farmers, the milk producers, they used to come to the milk shop and they used to deliver like milk at the point, but they used to get the money after 15-20 days. So that money was being utilized by the union for some other way, right? So what we did was we instantly issued a prepaid card. Like that was the instant solution. We went to the market, we saw that was the problem. But the bigger challenge was there was no bank account. So and they didn't want to open a bank account also because of so many reasons. Right? There's no initiative at that point that they not open a bank account. Then that happened. So what was like to start issuing it. So it was like a savings account, like a bank account, but without interest. So the morning when the milk producer will come and complete the process, he'll get a receipt. This is that it is an amount. That money, that report used to come to us and used to settle the money to the prepaid account of the farmer. So by the end of the day, the farmer used to get the money in his card. Now what he will do with the card, because this is an open loop card is say Visa, Master, whatever. They can go to the nearest ATM, withdraw money, or they can come to the next day to the agent to the milk association where our agent was sitting with the money, right, and the card serving machine. So the agent would act like an agent, ATM, right, and the customer will start the card. Agent will hand over the cash to the farmer. Farmer gets his money. Whatever agent has spent for that day, the bank will settle it with the commission.
Correct. So basically, we can target the audience where there is a lack of infrastructure in agriculture industry.
Yeah.
Where we wanted to ensure that the payments and the benefits that we wanted to target for certain customers, we can ensure that securely the payments are being
correct
to the person.
Yes. And then there's a data, like also we experience that the farmers they became more aspirant in terms of they went to the cities and they swipe the card at big bazaar also. So you also see the aspiration. We have a data.
Malls also can be the one of the use cases where it can be a large retail store. Right? There is one more concept that a lot of governments now are utilizing the prepaid card instrument against the illegal migrants and the refugees. I know that socially that has a different challenges for the country to manage those things. But however, it is difficult to manage their finances, right? And when we discuss this at a large level. It's a huge problem for a country, especially the developed countries, right? So we have we analyze that lot of especially the countries in Europe. Right now there is a conflict going in Ukraine, and there have been lots of migrants that are shifting to other countries. But the government doesn't have an instrument that how do you add these people to the country's finance. So this is where we realize that this is where we are using the prepaid card model.
That's
So
right.
can you please brief us how that was? What the
Definitely, prepaid again and requires a very limited device. And like you're talking about the instance, I think the Ukraine war where the refugees are here and there, and they need money, right? And how you cannot go and distribute cash, right? So to meet their end needs, the prepaid cards are being issued to these migrants, and with the subjective that you can use this card to a particular outlet itself. Right, you cannot go and you can have a wine with that card, right? So it has an objective card. So prepaid, coming to that, prepaid has that visibility when you run a prepaid program. As a program manager, you have that visibility to go ahead and issue a card, and also with this is the MCC code, you can restrict the transactions. There are like use cases for the school use cases. The card like closeloop program you can run for school, where you can give a child a card. Card can be issued to a child that can use only in the say canteen. Right? Fee management is used. This college can be a good use case. College canteens, malls where game zones can be good use case. So amusement parks, resorts, club bars, Right. So that handles hospitality industry. Hospitality is the resorts, hotels, the pubs, clubs. So and they are all using the closed loop system. Yeah, mostly closed loop. Some would be, you see, Walmart can be one use case where you say it is kind of an open loop somewhere, right? But yes, initially these players started with closed loop. Some countries have started, controlling it through various regulations. But yes, most of these places you don't really need a license to run such programs. Like fintechs who want to become a card player, especially in any fintech, when they want to get into card business, they just need a sponsor bank. If they are not capable or they don't have enough money to get a license, picking license is a good idea, but initial stage where you don't have money much, you can become as a program manager, you can start working like. So they will be say, I want to run a fintech. I have the skill set, I have distribution, but I don't have a technology. So they can come up with they can tie up with a technology partner who expertise in building card programs, like card as a service. And then I as a field implementer, I become a program manager, and I look for a bank. So there are three parties involved, like bank, the prepaid program manager, and the technology service provider. Right. So this way, they really, all the trends that you have seen, all the startups who have become or who are evolving, fintechs who are evolving, have started like this. So eventually, I started as a program manager, and I also built up my own technology, and then I become a technology service provider at the bank. And if required, we can go for a master visa program where, So can we say that especially after the COVID-19, people are looking for contactless things. So the problem with the debit card, I don't know if there is an MSC, but we used to swipe the cards. Right now, with the prepaid card, people are looking to tap, not the swipe. So can the prepaid card model be used in the same way? Yeah. Will it benefit the card industry going further? Yeah, see, prepaid cards are near minimum physical, right? So the digital card, it can be on your phone, you tap and pay, or you are, right? In closed loop environment, yes, it does not make much issues around. Easy to issue and easy to run, but when it comes to open card, QR becomes some challenge. Some banks would not allow QR to be printed on your card, right? But apart from QR, like NFC cards can be definitely there. Swipe cards are there.
And you can personalize them as well.
Right,
That is
you can, yeah, you can personalize the card. And there are certain countries in which also allows you QR, but yes, even like in India, you cannot put QR on the card itself, right? So, but other personalizations have happened. You can issue the card with his name, with the pictures also. Some regulations also are there. Yes, it is all about experience, getting experience in terms of use cases.
So what about the loyalty and rewards programs?
Yeah. So if it is like loyalty is actually a use case which has come about before. Cards, if you see all these cafes like Cafe Coffee Day in India and Starbucks, all are large retail chains. This is very big use case.
So to our audience, if you're looking for contactless payments, personalized experience, and the loyalty programs, prepaid cards are the model for you. Now these are all about how we can utilize the cards, what industry we can target about. But when we talk of any fintech service or a product, there are challenges associated, right? So what are the major challenges according to you that need to be taken care if somebody wants to go into card?
See, fintechs are challenges. People say that there are entrepreneurs who come and say that I'm doing a fintech. But unfortunately, the print and the tech is not present in most of the cases, right? So, yeah, the entrepreneur has that. He's aspirant, he wants to build something on the tech. In financial services is he might be a very good expert in finance. Technology still is lacking in that. So I think fintechs, the major challenge is that fintechs today are facing that they have a business model around, but they don't have a right choice of tech, right? Or a right set of tech team, right? Or a right tech co-founder. Most of the fintechs are struggling that co-founders are business guys and there's no tech guy who is becoming a founder. So that is one challenge. In order to solve that challenge, they go and look for technology companies, tech companies who can support them. And the other challenge is that there are so many technology companies, but very few would be expert in fintech. Right? So there is a bigger opportunity, right? Fintech are looking for partners who can support them in the overall journey, right? And the APIs are in place, integration in that. That's one.
What about the regulations? When we talk of any fintech partnership, the regulations always are big issues, right? Those are costly, those are time consuming. How is the stats?
So I have a very in that things have changed now. It was a bigger challenge earlier regulation, but now there are ways that you can still work when the highly regulated country like India. The fintech is emerged, right? Not everyone has a license. Very simple way that, in principle, if you want to run a fintech business, you either need to have a license or you need to have a bank sponsorship. So go for a bank, look for a banking tie-up, and then get into it. I'm sure banks are also looking for distribution of their services. So that's a win-win situation for the bank. So I don't think compliance is my way forward for problem. Yes, but the major problem is still find is that apart from whatever product you build up, the trust is among the last mile.
The financial literacy.
Yes, so there's limited financial literacy. There's no financial literacy. There's in India as well. And we're talking about we are one of the largest fintech players in the world, but still the government's initiative is to ensure that
so you have to run the
running campaigns
so that people can trust your system.
Right. Financial, and then whatever said and done, important is that you are dealing with money, and if you are dealing with money, there is a lot of security involved. Right? So when you're building up a tech, and these parameters has to be on a priority, because even if you go to a bank is going to audit your systems in place. So they're getting a right team, and again building up a product which is more like, which is bit secure as per the banking line, right? That security part is still a problem, and because
That was again the next concept that what about the fraud? I mean, all the fintechs are getting into by the fraud, and especially this car industries, people will be targeting where there is a limitations where bank cannot reach, right? So we are trying to cater the audience where there is a less financial literacy, where the banks cannot reach, and we are trying to push the services to this audience, right? So there are high chances of fraud, right? So like how, what kind of frauds can happen, how we can prevent those things, what is the journey of fraud?
see, fraud cannot be eradicated, it can be mitigated, right? Control the fraud. So the problem is not the fraud. Fraud will still happen. The problem is in the process. Fintechs lag in that. Now, if you compare all the big financial institutions which are more than 100 years old, what is the key about them? Right? The key is the processes in place and being followed by the rules. What a fintech or a new startup is facing is either a fintech startup is started by somebody who has an idea, right, but no experience, right? The idea is there, they go and build it out, and then when they go to the market, they experience it. So the frauds are on a search of such companies, the emerging companies. So most of the frauds happen with the emerging new companies. It is nothing, nobody can crack or the established ones, right? But there are so many fintechs coming up, they are easy to be cracked upon. So that is they have limited experience, because of which they are unable to face the process. Right. Check and balances in place, right? While that is being sorted, that can also be sorted out. When you build up a company, you have to, either if you cannot afford to hire somebody as a consultant with the compliance and regulatory experience. Also, in terms of technology, while building up the product, those risk factors has to be considered first, rather than taking it, okay, let's go to the market and we'll think about when the fraud comes in. So these are few experiences which comes, which is missing in the fintech
So this again leads to the financial literacy. We have to
financial literacy for the founders.
For the founders as well. So that's an important message for you guys, that if you are planning to run your fintech platform, you are planning to have your own innovations, it's not only technology, it's the backing of it's an operation processing as well. So the last questions, how do you see the card industry evolving in the next 5 years? What is the future?
Future is bright, especially card business, the prepaid business. I still see that despite of all the efforts getting digitally transformed by government, it will take more years for a bank to start opening a proper savings account for the customer. For banks, the countries where the banks are not so strong, I think prepaid is the way forward. At least if they have a database of customers being captured through the prepaid, being acquired through the prepaid cards, and through various modes, right? Various use cases. Neobank is one such thing. Has opportunity when wallets are already there in the market. And in the evolved segment, yes, everything that you think about, can be sorted.
So can we link the prepaid card wallets to the wallets as well?
Yeah, see, prepaid card is technically a wallet itself. Right? So it's an account which is created by the bank, and it is actually a wallet within the bank. So anything that you think of a wallet can be linked with prepaid cards.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sasi. It was a pleasure having you. I'm sure our audience benefited from your very insightful thoughts. So, guys, the message for you is prepaid card offers a secure and convenient way for recipients to receive funds without the need of the bank account. Thank you so much for listening to us. I'm sure you found this session very informative and enjoyable.